Good evening, everybody. Won't you sing with me? Come on. Well, take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. Ooh, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Oh, lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, that should reunite. Whoa, whoa, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, namaste, I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Oh, lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. Come together. In the name of love.
Thank you, Jenn. Yay. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Amber Davidson. I am a prayer practitioner here. We are glad that you have joined us tonight, and we welcome all lifestyles and beliefs. And whoever you are welcome here. I want to acknowledge that this service is being held on the traditional and ancestral grounds of the Arapaho, Ute, and Cheyenne peoples, and we give them respect and gratitude for their continued kinship with this place. So thank you for that. Our philosophy, the science of mind, honors the wisdom and the teachings found in all faiths, that love, interconnectedness, and oneness is in all. Lonnie Hickman and I will be your prayer partners today, so come over here after service and get a couple of 2 minutes of magic miracles. Not magic, just miracles. Let us say our mission and vision together, and we say these to remind ourselves of why we're here and how we get there. So our mission: we are an inclusive community inspiring personal growth, spiritual practice, and a positive way of life. And our vision: to support humanity's spiritual growth, creating a world that works for all. Okay, do we have kiddos today? We do. We have kids.
God is everything there is, so I am part of God. I know there's lots of good for me and everybody else. I'm thankful and grateful for everything we have. So I let go of this prayer, and so it is. Here we go. God is everything there is, so I am part of God. I know there's lots of good for me and everybody else. I'm thankful and grateful for everything we have. So I let go of this prayer, and so it is.
We have this thing here called a matching challenge, a match challenge. And if you haven't heard of it, welcome back from the desert island you've been on. We've had a couple of really great donors give us $7,500 if the community can match that $7,500. And we're getting closer. You can see the little thermometer is raising. And we would love to invite you to, once you've done your regular giving, to put a little bit more in there for the match. And we are up to, of the $7,500, $4,173.45. Loving that 45 cents, yes. If you would like to participate, ask the ushers for an envelope that says match on it. You can write match in the memo field of a check. And there will also be ways that you can do that match online. Remember, that's over and above your regular giving because we still have to keep the lights on. We have a new book study coming, the Book of Knowing and Worth. This begins April 3rd, which is 321 almost now. This book is led, the book study is led by Reverend Leah as we explore the Book of Knowing and Worth by Paul Selig. You do not have to have read any of his previous books, but there's a really good, strong book study group here. So come join that book study. And this is more than just studying that book. This is a beautiful and powerful opportunity to get together in community and share this. So we also have an intuitive reader coming on April 18th. A heart-centered, intuitive, and psychic medium, Kara Faith. Kara will intuitively select 6 individuals for personal readings, but everyone will benefit from the shared messages. Join us for this really fun night. We're doing some fun, interesting things here. And then Easter Sunday, on the 20th, we are going to have the Easter service and then a fun-filled celebration. There will be games, activities, and potluck. Our potluck is going to be on the 20th that month, not on the last Sunday. Bring a dish, bring a friend, bring everything, and let's celebrate together. To register for any of these opportunities, to learn more, to find out all of that good stuff, please sign up for our weekly newsletter and then read it when it comes in. The best way to stay up to date is to do that, so subscribe at cslnoco.org. And I think that's good. Okay. Now, let's take a breath. It'll be particularly good for me that I've been talking 100 miles an hour. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And then we're just going to be present by saying these words. And you're going to say them in your head as you breathe. I move in harmony with the divine rhythm of life. I move in harmony with the divine rhythm of life. And just continue to inhale and exhale, feeling that you move, I move in harmony with the divine rhythm of life. Please join me in an opening prayer. As we take this time to be together, to connect, to remember what community is, to remember that community is sacred, is our time together in the presence of the divine, our time together as the presence of the divine. That we are all here exactly where we're supposed to be at exactly the right time. We are profoundly connected to one another and to the divine. And I know that the blessings that come from the divine, that are inspired by the divine, that are animated by the divine, work through everyone's life, that express as everyone. Every moment of every day has a blessing in it to just be here and breathe. And I give thanks for all of those blessings, for everything that we find here as community. at Centers for Spiritual Living, Northern Colorado. And I release this prayer, knowing that we are already so. And join with me if you choose to say, and so it is.
It's the choice of a lifetime. I'm almost sure I will not live my life in between anymore. If I can't be for certain of all that's in store, this far it feels so right. I will hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light. The search for my future has brought me here. This is more than I'd hoped for, but sometimes I fear that the choice I was made for will someday appear, and I'll be too late for that flight. So I'll hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light. It's too late to be stopped at the crossroads. Each life here, it's a possible way. But wait, and there'll always be lost roads. Each road's growing shorter the longer I stay. Now as soon as I'm moving, my choice is good. This way comes through right where I'm praying that it would. If I keep my eyes open and look where I should, somehow all the signs are in sight. If I hold it up to the light, I say, God, will you bless this decision? I'm scared, it's my life at stake. But I see, if you gave me a vision, would I never have reason to use my faith? I was dead with deciding, afraid to choose. I was mourning the loss of the choices I'd lose. But there's no choice at all if I don't make my move. Trust that the timing is right. Yes, and hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light. Yes, and hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light, hold it up to the light.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give another round of applause for that beautiful music. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Ken. We have been blessed a few times having our substitute speaker here tonight. Rev Jenn she's been a minister for 7 years. She joined New Thought in 1999. So there's a lot of wisdom in this head and a lot of comedy in this body. And we are really lucky to have her. Again, please help me give her a warm round of applause.
Someone else was trying to come through there for a second. I wanted to be respectful and give it the space just in case there was a message we needed to hear. If I move, does that help? No? Do we know? We don't know? We don't care? Okay. Thank you for having me with you again. I love coming here. And one of the things, there's so many, I could go on forever about why I love you all so much. But I do want to say this, because the gentleman just walked off the stage. You have the most magnificent music director in Ken Jansen. And as a guest speaker to a community, a lot of times I get really involved with what I'm doing and I forget about what everybody else is doing. And he is always, wherever I am, he always reaches out to me, makes a recommendation for the music. How would this work? Would this fit with your talk? And what it does for me is it allows me to know that I'm being supported, number one. It also gives me some insight to where his mind might be with the talk title. And it also gives me additional language that shows up as well. And so I just want to say, he's left the room, but I just want to say thank you to Ken, and you can all shower him later. Yeah. Thanks. This month you've been talking about the rhythm of life and flowing with grace. I love those words. I know those, when I look at some of the things that Reverend Leah and all of you bring to the center, I can see the personalities and where it comes from. It's so beautifully done. And I came up with the talk title of Intuitively Aligned. And because I was thinking, well, what are you doing when you're in the rhythm? And what are you doing when you're flowing? And intuition just went screaming off into the night. And I've been really working on that intuitive piece of my life and paying more attention and listening. So I thought, well, this would be a really good time to bring this here. So here's what I know. Every single one of us was created with the innate ability to know what is best for us. The unfortunate piece is that we started out in this life and we were told to look out there and figure out what's best for everybody else. And some of us were taught to tell them when we saw that there was something better for them to do than maybe the direction they were going, right? That's kind of how that works. And so think about a time maybe when, like, if you prayed with a practitioner. And if you haven't, I recommend you do that. But when you pray with a practitioner, what the practitioner is doing, the practitioner is recognizing the truth of who each one of us is. We already know what it is. We already know you know the answers. You can ask me all kinds of questions, and I can say to you, well, go within for a minute. What do you think? What do you feel? What's coming forth for you? That's that intuitive piece that we're designed to do. So all the practitioner is doing when they're praying for you is praying for you to recognize who the heck you are. Isn't that great? We went to school for how many years for that? But anyway, no, it was worth it. It was well worth it. But anyway, it's that whole piece of you have the answers. You also have a little bit of fear about listening to yourself. Many of us do. And so then what we do is we start asking others what they think we should do. And then we get this conglomeration of ideas and thoughts, and now we can't make a decision because now we are just inundated with all these ideas. And if I don't choose this person's advice, then they're not going to be happy with me. Do you see where I'm going with this? And is it any wonder that the world has gone wonky because none of us are listening to our intuition? So we're going to look at that for a little bit. So I want you to just do this for a moment with me. Just take a deep breath in and close your eyes for a second. Just breathe in. And in that place of just being quiet for a moment, allow yourself to just go inward. There's probably a question, a decision, something that's going on in your life that maybe you've been pondering. Maybe not, but maybe. If there is, just allow yourself to be with that for just a moment. We're going to just do this briefly. What is it I need to know? What guidance do I need? What choice is mine to make? Breathe in. And a lot of times what happens in this space is we feel this kind of fluttering of maybe little answers floating around our heads. Allow that to be. Just allow it. Breathe. Just breathe. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. Come back to this space. That little fluttering, those little ideas and thoughts that kind of wisp past us, that's our intuition. That is our intuition, and I see it as a dance, as this graceful dance. My brain is going out here trying to figure this stuff out. I'm so focused, I'm so concentrated, and over here's this beautiful little butterfly of a thought that's saying, why don't you just do this? And when I recognize that, and I shift, and I follow that, everything works out. That doesn't mean it all works out immediately. Depends on how far down the wrong road I was when I got this and decided to follow, remember? So we got to pay attention to that. So just pay attention to that. This week, it is your turn to listen to you. This week, we're going to have some exercises with your homework or whatever that thing is they call that you guys get. Spiritual practices, thank you, I call it homework. Anyway, with your spiritual practices, to pay more attention to this because it's like a muscle in the body. The more you listen, the stronger it gets. And it's phenomenal when you hear it and you listen and you respond. And it's disastrous when we don't. At least much of the time. However, I have discovered that when I don't listen, I learn a lot of different lessons that I hadn't thought I was going to learn. Kind of works out that way. So what's happened to us as human beings on this planet is that we have been taught to ignore our inner voice. We have been told not to pay attention. We have a world full of people who are in the wrong job, the wrong relationship, they live at the wrong house, they don't live in the right state, maybe they're not even in the right country, because decisions have been made on their behalf or enforced upon them somehow or influenced upon them, and they failed to listen to that inner space, and now we're miserable. We're miserable. And we don't have to be. It's just a small turn of that dial to shift that energy just a teeny bit and then have it all unfold better. I found a quote from Albert Einstein. It says, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift. We have trained ourselves to ignore that one thing that is within us that supports us always in all ways. That one thing. And because of that, we are trying to take this wonderful organ of rationalization, and we were trying to make it work for us. And it wasn't designed for that. Because wherever that intuitive place is in your body, that's what was designed to support us. You know, I remember years ago, I was probably about that tall. And I was in a building, a church building, and I was familiar with the church building. I'd been there before. And there were a lot of adults, and everybody was dressed in dark colors. And I remember just being this little kid, kind of wandering around, and I'm seeing people over here crying and holding each other and hugging. And then I kind of got distracted, and then I'm over here, and I see other people, and I'm feeling this something's wrong energy. And I could have been 7. Maybe I wasn't quite, maybe I was, yeah. Anyway. And I asked my mother, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's happened? And because my mother wanted to protect me, she said, oh, honey, nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. It's okay. Nothing's wrong. I would be willing to bet that something like that happened to each and every person in this room. And when that happened, we went to that place of, well, it feels like this, but she's telling me this, so this feeling is wrong, and I need to grab this. Are you with me on this? And unfortunately, it didn't stop there. It kept happening over and over and over again. To this day, I can feel the energy in my body. If I go up to someone, I say, oh my goodness, are you okay? Can I help you? Can I support you? And I'm not usually that direct, especially if it's not someone I know. And they go, I'm fine. I'm like, yeah, no, you're not, but okay, you don't need me, I'll walk away. So what we have to do, what we get to do now is we get to retrain ourselves. We get to start listening to that voice that we haven't paid any attention to. And it's not that we want to distrust our parents or any of the people who told us otherwise, because they really had good intentions. They really wanted to protect us in the process. They just didn't quite know how to go about it. And they didn't want to just blurt out, so-and-so died. Well, again, why was I at the funeral? You know, nobody was going to tell me what was going on. Why was I there? But again, that was a conversation for many later years. So this week, we want to really take some time and kind of look at this. And I don't like to go to the negative, but I'm going to give you some negative aspects of what happens when you don't listen to your intuition. Okay? Because when we're not listening, the world gets chaotic. We start to experience anxiety. We start to feel out of sorts. And we can't figure out why. Because many of the times when this happens, we're looking out there for the answers. And they aren't out there. They're in here. So one of the things that you may notice is you may notice that you have headaches from time to time. Did you know that not listening to your intuition could cause you to have a headache? That's why I call it intuitively aligned. When we are not in alignment, all kinds of wonky stuff happens. Icky stuff, horrible things, body pain, confusion, headaches. We find out that if we don't listen to our intuition, we begin to do this internal argument. We are arguing with this voice in our head. How can you tell me to go do that when I know I'm supposed to go do this? So-and-so told me I'm supposed to go do this. And this voice is, and we're arguing with it. And we're creating frustration. We begin to feel anxious and depressed. I was in a marriage for 11 years. In that 11-year time frame, I didn't make a decision for myself. I made a decision based on what my husband thought I needed to do, or what were the demands of his kids and my kids, or what was the disaster that needed attention right now. And when I left that relationship, it took me 2 full years to find me, because I had given me up. You were brought here to be the expression that you are. You were brought here to this beautiful planet to be all of the beauty and crazy and wonkiness that is you. Not that someone else told you to be, but that is you. So we really want to take some time to really work at how can we do this? How can we show up? Some of the phrases that we hear throughout the day that we ignore are, put that down and go take a walk. My voice can get pretty loud at my house, I've noticed. Apply for that position. Why the heck are you doing that right now? Some of those arguments, some of those questions, some of those comments are coming from your intuition. And when we don't listen to this part of us that is all-knowing, and we're listening to everybody else and their dog or whoever else is out there, when we're doing all of that, what happens is we start to question every decision we make. And now we're doing this little wonky thing about, maybe this, maybe, and now we're stuck. And I know you've been there because I've been there. I know you've experienced this. And you're going, oh my gosh, and if I make that decision, then this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and if I listen to this, well then I don't even know what's going to happen there. And we develop this level of fatigue, and what happens in that place is we can't make a decision at all. We're stuck. And I don't know about you, but I've met a lot of people in my life who tell me, I try not to make decisions. I'm just going to wait and see where life takes me. Really? That's what you're saying? That's how you think this is working out? Okay, let me come back to me later on that. I think that's an interesting mindset. Your soul is speaking to you. You came into this life expression with it, intact, ready to guide you, ready to support you in all things. And so we want to pay attention to that. We want to look at that. We want to listen to that. We feel like if I honor my intuition, then I'm ignoring someone else, or I'm shutting somebody else out of my life. No, because that's not how intuition works. It's for the highest and best of our expression, the highest and best. Sometimes you find yourself pretending that everything is just fine. It's perfect. It's good. Life is good. It's, everything's fine. And then you take a couple minutes of quiet time, and you feel like everything's not so fine, and you feel like everything's not quite going the way you want it to be. And it's not just you. It's everyone on the planet that has chosen, not everyone, not 100% of the time, I make blanket statements, I didn't mean to do that, but the majority of people are running around trying to figure out how to live their lives when all along, the knowing was within them. And they just chose to disregard it. This one I've felt before. Sometimes you get a feeling that something is unfinished. It's like you're walking around thinking, was there something else? Was there something else I was supposed to do? Was there something else I needed to do with this? It's just that sense of unfinished, that energy that I need to be paying attention to something. You have a tendency to feel like you're not in control. You're not. As soon as you started asking 5 of your closest friends and listening to all of their wonderful reasons why you should do what you should do, you let go of control. And control is an illusion. I hate to use that word anyway, but just looking at that and looking at that context is, okay, yeah, you're out of control. And now you're running off doing something that you never, ever, ever, ever dreamed of doing because 3 people said that was a good idea, so I'm going to go try that. It's not so difficult to catch those little fluttery thoughts, to catch those little ideas that are floating around. It's really not that hard. We got to be present in the moment. We need to be quiet. We can't have the phone going and the TV going and the radio going and children screaming and dogs barking. We need to go and get a little bit quiet to get to that place. Another evidence that you're not listening to your intuition is you have a constant stomach ache. My intuition is right here. I don't know where yours is in your body. I'm not even going to try to guess, but I feel it here. When I get that sense, it's here. Now, sometimes I hear what I call a voice. It's not a voice, but it's like I hear it as clearly as if someone just spoke it. Just spoke it. It's so beautiful. It's like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. And when I disregard it, my body says, well, she's not paying attention, so let's give her some pain. because that's how the body helps us. That's how the body supports us. When we don't listen to our intuition, we become people pleasers. Because now we're trying to please all the people who gave us advice. Now we're trying to do all the things that everyone else thinks they want us to do. We are seeking approval and validation externally, and that is never going to help you be better, do better, and have a better life. We begin to obsess over past decisions. 20 years ago, I made a decision, and no, stop. Because there's a part of us that knows, not that it was the wrong decision, but it wasn't the best one. It was the one that could support us the best, possibly. That's the piece we want to look at. And none of this is about beating yourself up and going out of here and saying, oh my gosh, now I've got so much work to do. Well, that's okay. You can make a big difference in a week. Don't stress over that. But it's not about that. It's about choosing differently from this moment forward to give yourself that best support and that best life. It helps us move out of feelings of overwhelm. It helps us to feel more energized because we're aware. We know what we're capable of, and we know what Spirit is demonstrating through us at that moment. Another example of not listening to your intuition is you have trouble sleeping at night. Someone tried to tell me the other day that of people my age, I'm the one person they know who can sleep no matter what. I'll take a 2-hour nap in the afternoon. I usually have to get up in the middle to go to the bathroom, but you don't need about that. But anyway, I can take a nap, I can sleep in, I can go to bed, I can sleep all night. I love sleeping. It feeds me somehow. Did you miss out on that somewhere? Because it's a very important part of who we are and how we are. And every time a client comes to me or someone comes to me and says, oh my gosh, I'm having such a hard time sleeping, I'm thinking, ooh, are you listening to your intuition? Because that chatter in the body doesn't shut up when it's out of alignment. It doesn't. It just keeps going. And it wakes us up with a horrific thought. And that still happens to me from time to time. I have not perfected this. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm still a work in progress as well. And one of the other things that I found that can be a symbol of the fact that we're not listening to our intuition is that as soon as we make a decision, we start to doubt and regret it. We go out and I was married to this guy too. Now you know all the secrets about me. I was married to this gentleman who, he wanted to buy a camera. He was a photographer. We must have shopped for 3 weeks looking at every flippin' kind of camera out there on the planet. This was before phones were cameras, so it was a while back. And he finally finds this one, and it's pricey, and he thinks he can swing it, and he wants to do this, and he's going to start this business, blah, 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 and we get through all of this, and he buys it, and he knows, we aren't even home from the store. He's got buyer's remorse. Oh my gosh, what if he has to sell the camera? And I'm sitting there thinking, what is going on here? Because I don't do buyer's remorse, ever. I either keep it, take it back, or give it away, but I'm not remorseful over it. I made the decision, I bought it. Yay, it's mine. I could not relate to someone who could not do that. For years, I watched this. And then finally I thought, okay, well, maybe it's me that he needed to trade in and not the camera. So, my dear friends, you can do this. You can shift so much in your life by just taking that time to slow down a minute, be quiet, and listen. And like I said before, I've been working on this. A few weeks ago, I have a tendency, much of the time, to turn the sound on my phone off because I don't know who those people are that are calling me. That may be spam, but they make dingly noises on my phone, and I don't need it. I don't need to hear it. So I'm in my room. I've got the phone plugged into the charger, and I'm putting the phone, and it was just last Sunday, I think it was, last Sunday morning. And that voice that I told you about that I hear said, you might want to turn the sound on your phone on. And I'm standing there, and as I'm pushing the button to turn the sound on, I'm thinking, am I expecting a call today? So let's back up 18 years ago. 18 years ago, my grandson, Eric Allen, was born, and he has been one of the loves of my life. He doesn't outshine my other grandchildren. He's just one of them, and I love him dearly. And 3 weeks ago, he left for the Army, which has been his life's dream. He graduated from high school last year. And he has been living in the experience of autism for his entire life. So in addition to how much I love him and how much I cherish this kid, and how the relationship that he and I have in our connection, there's that whole piece of I am so freaking proud of him for being able to get through high school, because there was a time when I didn't think he was going to get there. And not only that he got himself down to an Army recruiter, talked to the guy, did the testing, went through the process, and boom, next thing he's on a plane. And he's going to be gone for 3 months. Last Sunday, I hit that button on the phone. I went about my day. 2 hours, 3 hours later, my phone's ringing. And it's him. They had been gone. They'd been at the fort for a week, doing paperwork and Lord knows what else the Army makes you do. And they hadn't quite started basic training yet, so they gave them all their phones back so they could make a few phone calls. It would have been so challenging for me to have missed that call, to have not been able to have just those few minutes to connect with him. Because in my brain, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're making him run 80 miles a day, and they're screaming at him, and who knows? I don't know what the Army does. I've seen movies, but whatever. But to hear him on the phone and to hear how excited he is, and one of the things he said, which I was so thrilled to hear, was he said, a lot of these guys around here, Grandma, are kind of acting like babies, and they're like all crying and upset, and I'm thinking, and I said, well, wait a second, I thought you said all you were doing this week was paperwork and shots and, whatever, in case they go overseas or whatever. And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I don't need to ask any questions about that, but it was like, but to hear him sound so mature about it, that isn't going to be me. Now, again, I've told him, and I keep telling him, whatever choices you make, I'm here. I love you. I support you. But here's, and you do what you need to do. Because, again, like I said, I don't know enough of what they do to know how that's going to work for him. This kid hasn't exercised a day in his life. Bless his heart. He did start lifting 20-pound weights a couple weeks ago, but I don't know that was going to get him there. But again, that was that intuition. Start listening. You're driving in traffic and something says, don't go that way, go this way. Go listen to that little voice that's on your GPS talking to you. And listen to the voice in here. And allow it to guide you. Allow it to take you to that place. I have tested my intuition, and I'll tell you how, and it's going to sound weird, but I play a word game on my phone sometimes. And it's one of those that has all these letters in a circle, and you have to find all these different words. And every now and then, I get stuck, and I have to go to a website that shows words made out of the scramble. Now, I don't call it cheating because I'm not trying to advance or make points, or it's nothing like that. I'm just working my brain. That's all I'm doing. I did tell a friend the other week that I think I'm cheating when I go look up the words. But here's what I've been doing. So I pull up the words, and I need a 4-letter word made out of all these words. And I'm looking at my puzzle over here where the blanks are to fill in the 4-letter word. And I can look to this list of names, words, and see one pop out at me. And go to my other game and type that word in, and it's the right word. And it's been happening for me 98% of the time. Because I started measuring it so I could tell you the story, and I'm thinking, that's got to be intuition. What are the mega-mill numbers, for Pete's sake? Where's that voice? But neither here nor there. Play with it. Have fun with it. Learn to listen to it. Sometimes it's like, maybe I don't want to get out of the bed just yet. And maybe 2 minutes go by, and my body goes, time to get up, and we're off and running. Listen to that voice within you. Intuition is your superpower. The people who hear it, they know it's something mystical. Knowing everything without thinking is a phenomenon beyond the mind. We know. We were taught to know. That's why people who have not experienced it have a hard time believing in it. So stop trying to convince the world of what you're doing and just do it. Just be it. Just be your best. You see, God is in man. That power, that being, that presence, that beauty, that life force that created each and every one of us is alive within us. It's talking to us. It's guiding us. It's supporting us in our life. And we're over here trying to go, yeah, no, I got this one. No, we'll get back to that later. No, don't do that. Allow it to be a part of your life. Ernest Holmes said this in the Science of Mind textbook. All arbitrary control of man must have stopped as soon as he came to a point of self-knowingness. From this point, he must discover himself. But intuition, which is nothing less than God in man, silently awaits his recognition and cooperation. The Spirit is always with us if we would but sense its presence. How beautiful is that? I love that. Holmes goes on to say that mystics have felt this wonderful power working from within, and they have responded to it. And it is certain evidence that they were not laboring under delusions because they have all sensed the same thing. Your intuition is the truth. It's the awareness of spirit. It's the knowing of who we are and what we are about. So this is our truth, my friends. And it's in every one of us. Every one of us. The wisdom, the power, the awareness is within each of us. We've just chosen not to use it. We've just chosen not to tap into it. And this week we get to. And let us remember that we are not only intuitively aligned, but we are divinely assigned. When we had our pray-in out there just a short time ago, Amber was praying so beautifully this afternoon. And she said the two words, divinely assigned. And it grabbed me. And I thought, yes, we are intuitively aligned. And when we listen, we are divinely assigned. And nobody can knock me off my path. Nothing can get in my way. No problem, no challenge, no political issue is going to impact upon me because I know the truth. I know the truth of who I am and why I'm here. And I get a little wonky every now and then. I can get confused and I start asking that question. And when I take the time to listen, I get the answer. And so this week I encourage you to do the same. Let us all take that essence of wisdom that we have that's alive within each of us. And remember, we have all we need. And all we need to do is align ourselves intuitively with that Godness that's alive within us. Please pray with me. As we breathe into this moment, this time, this afternoon, and we just allow this message to just ease into our minds, into our hearts, into our beings, and we listen, and we reflect, and we consider and we evaluate and we allow all of this to come forth with the highest and best for us. And we do this because we know that God is a part of all of this, that God is in each and every one of us, that we are God expressing this beauty, this truth of who we are, that this power, this presence, this beauty and source that came through us and is guiding us in this planet, on this planet, in this world today, loves us, gave us the gift of choice, brings us to a higher expression every time we seek it. How beautiful that is, how incredible that feels. And I know that each and every one of us is connected one to another. And so we know we are not alone because there's this Godness within us, and there is that connection we have to one another, and it's beautiful. We are one. We are one. And this week, we turn our attention to that beautiful voice within, that beautiful alignment that we can choose for our lives. And we begin to watch things unfold in perfection, because that guidance cannot be deterred. It's never a mistake. It's never a wrong action. And we allow ourselves to be divinely assigned in life to be all that we can be, all that we choose to be. And so I know that this week is blessed by God, and it is blessed with the beauty and the love and the light of each and every one of us as we begin to strengthen that muscle of intuition and express ourselves truly and truthfully to the world. What a blessing that is, and how great that feels, and how wonderful it is to know that we have not only the right but the will, the attitude and the mindset to shift our lives and to change our lives and to change our thinking and have that beautiful expression that we have, we maybe are longing for, that maybe we thought we missed. And I know it's good and I know it's perfect, and I call it great because I know God is in all of this. And so with joy in my heart and gratitude for all that is, gratitude for being here, gratitude for the ability to take these words into prayer, I simply say thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit, in all of this, knowing that God is in all things, always, knowing that the answer is always yes. We give great thanks for this. We simply let it go and we let it be. As together we say, and so it is.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every
Fabulous, as usual. So, let's just take a moment and reconnect with that gratitude, that feeling of gratitude. And in that gratitude for the spiritual food we've received today, we recognize that God is the source of all of the good in our lives. We share our gifts and tithes to remain in the consciousness of gratitude, knowing this truth. I invite you to share your gifts and tithes in gratitude for all the good in your life. Together we make this community thrive. On the screen you will see ways to give through the website, by text or mail. And if you would like to give to the Match Challenge campaign, you can text the amount to the number on the screen or ask the ushers for an envelope. You can also find envelopes out there at the Match Challenge table. Let's see. However you choose to contribute, thank you. We do appreciate you being part of this community. Please place your gift over your heart. And if you're one of our sustaining regular givers, then just put your hands over your heart and join me in saying our offering affirmative prayer. Money is God's love and expression. Since it is never withheld from me, I choose to give freely of all that comes to me from the one infinite source.
Thank you, God, for everything. 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 Thank you, God, for everything.
In that feeling of gratitude that is so powerful, I give thanks for all the gifts, all the tithes, all the offering, all the generosity, all of the connection to your community, and knowing that it is good, and so good, I say, and so it is. Thank you. If you are here for the first time, welcome. We are so glad to have you with us. And if you're here online, welcome. Thank you for being here. We are here to support you in prayer. After the service, our prayer partners will be over here, over there. And we also have prayer requests on the table outside the sanctuary. If you are online and you'd like a prayer, please go to cslnoco.org and submit a prayer request. Thank you all for being here today. It is always a joy to come together in community and share this time of inspiration and connection. I also want to extend my gratitude, my sincere gratitude, to everyone who helps our service be possible each week. This takes a dedicated team. Almost everybody that's in this audience is our dedicated team, including those who set up and take down, our amazing musicians, our sound and media team, our welcome team, our ushers, hospitality, prayer partners, our youth team, and everyone working behind the scenes. Your contributions are deeply appreciated, and if you are not yet a volunteer, please see me after service. It is a great way to connect with your community, to get to know people, to have fun, and to be
deeper in with our community. So, and now I invite you to join us for Sunday supper. There is plenty of food. Please, let's enjoy some time together. Let's enjoy some food together. Let's enjoy the community together. If you're new, please help yourself. As I said, there's plenty of food. Everyone's invited. And please stand now if you are willing and able for our benediction and our closing song, placing your hands over your heart again, and let's say our benediction together. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we awaken to the light of our own true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing for all beings. Love is who I am. Love is who we are. Love is all there is.
For years I've talked about how I wanted to change.
Gonna walk down here.
But I always left it up for someone else to do. Then I finally realized I needed to take a
Stand.
let my
Changing my life, change my life. That's how it can change the world. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now.
let there be peace.
I am a stand for peace. Let there be love.